Hello there, Barb Pask. Back at you to work on this big painting again. Let me spin you around and show you my tulips. I would prefer they were a little more open, but let me say just last night they started, a couple of them were opening and I could see they were pink. By today something had bit the head off of one of them. So I thought, I'm getting them while I can get them. I decided to use this container, and the reason being is it's pottery. It has a blue band on the bottom, which I felt pulled in the blue from this. So I went with that. As you can see, I've laid one down on the table. I had some of the water tubes from the flower shop that I've saved over the years, so it's in a water tube. So that's my plan. You know, you think about design. The longer you do this, the more you think about design. And hopefully the tulip laying down will pull you in here, and these will pull you back, and hopefully, you know, keep your eye in the painting. So our goal today is to get those in, maybe recoat the background. I've decided on the churn, I'm not putting all that printing. I think what I'm going to do is at the top of the churn, there's a design that I like. And down in here it says number 2. So I may put that in, I'm thinking. And we'll see. I mean, I know that churn is very warm and very big. So, you know, we'll see. I don't know till I get everything in. I may feel that it's pulling your eye too much, and I may feel like I need to cool it off. You know, till you get it all in, it's just hard to judge. So, digging around here for a little piece of vine charcoal. I think, well, that's what we'll do. We'll sketch it in with charcoal. All right, let me look at things here and see where they land. So it took a few days, you know, before my tulips came out. I've been watching. I had some purple ones, kind of a more purple than pink, that I could have used, but it's not what I wanted. So that goes back in there. All right, let's see where this hits in relation. A lot of times, as you know, I just sketch with paint, but I put this on Facebook, this pot and a couple baskets, and said, what do you think? What do you like? Just threw it out there, thought I'd get some feedback. I have a couple of Longaberger baskets that are a nice warm color. You know, and they did look nice up there, the warmth with the churn, but you know, the tulips weren't in it, so I think it's a little harder to judge. Okay, one of these tulips overlaps, which I like. Over here. One of the heads is about there. As I said, I put these in last fall. I went to and bought a whole bunch of bulbs in the fall because I just love tulips, but if you raise them, you know how it is. I'll be lucky if I have any of them by next year. I'm not sure what eats them, whether it's, they said it was probably squirrels. Must be tasty to them. That's all approximate. All right. Get us a brush here. Again, my name is Barbara Pask. If you're new to join me or a new subscriber, welcome, welcome. Paint and water mixable oils. Mixing up some green. Going to start with the darker part of the leaves, I think. It's not very dark, is it? I can also see I've got to bring the leg of this crock down there. So what have you been doing to keep yourself busy? We ripped off a deck. We're getting to we're gonna have a patio poured and a new driveway poured. Oh my gosh, I never walked so much in my life. We got one of those bagsters, they're called. Put it at the curb, because a dumpster cost a fortune. So I should have put my phone on me to see how many miles I walked the other day carrying lumber to that bag. It is full. There's a lot of lumber in a deck. It's out there waiting for a pickup. We're hoping they don't put us off too long. There was a brick patio out there too, a little, luckily it wasn't mortared together, but somebody built to put the grill on, I think, and we had to dig that out, and every brick was full of tree roots and dirt, and we're about ready for them, hoping they don't put us off too long. You know, with what's going on in the country, they said they contract out a lot of the work. They're concrete guys, basically, but I guess the people that run the equipment. So, of course, people still need to be working, don't they? We're just blocking in the greens. It may or may not be exactly right, but kind of look to see where these intersect. Daniel Green died yesterday. If you're an artist, you probably know who he was. Famous artist in our country. He was older. I mean, he was I think at least 86, and I don't think he died from the virus. I never heard for sure, but we have lost some well-known people from that stupid virus, haven't we? See, we got a tulip here, tulip up here, so there's a stem from him. Stem here. Okay, that's the stem. Kind of analyzing what I'm seeing here. Kind of unusual to add elements to the setup. You know, normally I would have everything, but you know, when I started, I wasn't really planning on necessarily putting the tulips in, and then got very excited about the idea of doing that. So pretty long leaf. Brought them in and set them on the counter, and my husband was like trying to straighten the leaves out. It's like, leave them alone, you'll break them. He was gonna fix them, I guess. That's part of the charm of a tulip. You know, and the very edge of them is catching light, which is kind of nice. All right, let's think about the color of those tulips. And again, they're not as opened as I would like them to be. Some of them are a bit tight. But I like that color, and I want to be able to see that color. All right, so we'll find a palette knife here and work on trying to mix up some pink tones. Kind of testing out some color here. You know, and I know this is going to draw an eye over here, which is good. So, you know, we may want to throw something about this pink some other places too. All right, let's block them in. we'll just mask them in for now, and then we'll explain them better. And I did think about, I've got an odd number here, 5. Like I say, you know, we may want to throw, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we may want to throw, you know, pink in other places too. So we pull everything together. We'll see. It's early. All right. Let's look at those guys. I want to keep them loose and impressionist. I don't want to get too tight on them. I think we'll block this in now. That's kind of what I'm doing at this point. I'm just blocking it all in. And this container, like a lot of these, are kind of a gray color. So we'll throw the 3 primaries together and see what that does for us. And white. Yeah, luckily for us, you know, our family's healthy, and I know of someone that died, an online friend of mine, her father died from the virus, but, you know, I told my daughter yesterday, it's just kind of hard to wrap your head around it, that's really going on in the world, you know. I know it is, but I guess some people are in denial that it really isn't even happening. They just don't believe it. Wow. All right. We'll start with the darks. And the dark under the lip there. And maybe too yellow. Getting a little muddier. I said one of the reasons I chose this guy is it has a blue band at the bottom, which I thought might pull some of that blue over into here. Can you see okay? you're getting tired of watching this. This is number 5, I believe. But I'm not going to be done today. Not sure, but I'm seeing shadow on the corner. I think it's a tulip leaf, maybe. So we'll try it. I see some adjustments I have to make with those. I need to pull that leaf over here a little more and pull that green down into there a little more. Oh, I heard the results of the Women's Art Club show. I mentioned that last time. The judging happened. I did not win anything. I'll try to remember to put the link in the description box, so and you can check out the show that way if you're interested. A lot of nice work. Actually, the piece that won was a wood carving. You know, I really would prefer to enter shows that was only paintings. Even when they take photographs, I mean, you can't complain when you do it. You go in and you know, but I've entered, of course, a lot of them that take photography, and it's just like, you know, apples and oranges, because a lot of painters, they start with a photograph. Just no comparison. But, you know, if you know it going in, you really shouldn't complain, I guess. And this one takes everything. I've seen, you know, mixed media pieces, and, you know, I'm aware of that. But there was some beautiful paintings that took awards too. First place was $1,500, not too shabby. We'll clean up the shape of that when we paint in the background. Kind of a shadow there. highlight down there too. Nope, not getting it. All right, let's explain those leaves better first. Make sure we've got we're not going to do our lightest lights yet. I'm just kind of re-looking at the shape of this. And this leaf needs to come over a little bit more. It actually folds over like they typical for tulips, right? Some of this we might even have to come back like once the background's back in, because like the very edge of this leaf is very light. There's like a tiny little rim light on it, so we might wait and do that once the background's in. Well, just stuck my brush in Cad Red Light. Anybody else do that kind of stuff? Maybe that's a sign I need to calm that green down, right? I'm not a fan of saturated greens. Like when I'm outside and things are really green like they are around here in the spring. That's a reason I tone in orange a lot of times. It kind of helps kill the intensity of that green. We're going to try to warm these up a little bit. I realize, you know, a lot of times that those greens look like that. I just don't like them. We're going to warm these up. Not sure on this yet. Let me get some green going here. You know, we're going to even want some green in these flowers too, because I see it in there. All right, let's look at these blooms. We're just jumping around because you don't want to completely develop something to the end anyway, I don't think, to the end. Looking to see where the light's hitting. Whoa, there's that stupid cab red light again. That is some powerful stuff once you get into that. You know, without getting too picky, I want to explain that these are tulips with some of the folds and like I said, I'm thinking once this big guy's finished, you know, we'll go back to painting smaller ones. A lot of people paint big, I know, all the time. You know, my husband's like, paint big, paint big. It's like, you know, then you've stored a bunch of big paintings probably, because who's selling art like crazy? I don't know. No one I know. Well, I'm just playing around here with the idea of, you know, how would it feel if some of that was on the edge of there. You know, maybe even reflecting on there. I do want to move it around. Let's go a little more orange. Let me squint and look, okay. And really, until the background's in, you just can't completely finish most of this, I think, because of the edges and pushing color around. Like I said, again, this rim light and stuff we're going to almost have to come back in and do once the background's painted in again. I can see that I'm going to have to lighten that up, because to push that behind that, even though I see a bit of a shadow there, I guess from this coming this direction. I think that's a little bit confusing maybe. You know, separating that stem from that leaf. I don't know if that's working or not. The leaf actually runs a little bit on the side of the, so the tip of that must be laying up behind that. Do I like it? Don't know yet. Get back from it and look. Again, I don't want to get too tight. I'm not sure about that or not. Throwing some orange in there. And again, this rim light's going to probably help explain these leaves and stuff. So let's start coating that big old background again. Oh wait, I see something I've been meaning to do. Top of this crock. Gosh, you can't even see that. I know you can't really see what I'm doing right now. It's just a quick little fix, something I've been meaning to, a dark line up there at the top of this churn. All right, we're going to mix up something for the background and coat that in again. Quite the mess going here on my palette. We'll take some transparent red oxide and some ultramarine, which is very dark, and I think we're going to put our shadows in again with that. I'm going to switch to a bigger brush. And I might try to pull you back some. I wish this thing was higher sometimes. It's not a problem when I'm sitting, but when I'm standing, let's see if we can pull the legs together and get you up a little bit. And part of our issue is just light glaring. I'll try to keep an eye on you and move you around. Anyway, we're going to just block in some of these shadow shapes again. And I did need to bring the lip into that crock, so we're doing that. An online friend that I know, she's my age and she works at Walmart, and she's up in northern Ohio, but she said when she went into work yesterday, they I guess at one point they had closed one of the doors and tried to keep the traffic flow down, but they're like both doors are open. She just couldn't believe the number of people that was out and about. She felt very nervous, so I guess she had the option, with the state basically saying we're closed till the beginning of the month. She took the next 2 weeks off without pay, of course, but she just didn't feel safe there anymore. I understand there's still people having parties and stuff. They just, I don't know, whether they don't believe it doesn't exist, or they're just not afraid of it, or nope, we're being careful here and staying home. I don't mind. Like I said, we're homebodies here anyway, so this is mostly where we are anyway. I do miss painting with my group. I chair a group on Mondays, and we paint together, just a wonderful bunch of people, and I do miss that a lot. We'll be together again, though. Just want everybody to survive this ordeal and be safe, So I'm just kind of do a random shadow shape right now, as you can see. Now this. I'm thinking of what we'll do to explain this side of this is just to suggest that blue band back in there, I think. That's what I'm thinking. Kind of lose it except for a little bit of that edge. Again, these are water mixable oils, so I am mixing a little water in them to help me move them around. No medium, just water. I've tried some of the mediums for these water mixables, but I don't know. Wasn't wild about them. See, that's about where, that is where the tablecloth is in the back when I look through there. Runs about over into there. Of course, I have to paint the whole edge of this thing too. It's one of those deep canvases. I'm mixing some white into this now. If you're on Facebook, you can find me on there, Barbara Pask Fine Art. I usually post the finished painting with a link to these videos. In case I don't finish it on here, you can, that way you can go on and see the finished painting. If I could lower this a little bit. Let's do that. That might help me and you. Hold on a sec. Whoa, not that low. Let's see how that looks. I lowered it. I've got a lot of glare too, Again, we'll try to keep an eye on you and make sure you can see. Nothing's ever ideal, and again, it's harder with this big canvas, Not much of a problem with an 8x10, but you get painting this big, it's hard to keep everything on camera. All right, I'm mixing up more paint here. This handle. I think part of what I like about small too is everything is you work everything at the same time. You're working wet into wet. You put in the background. I mean, everything's wet, and you can work your edges. And oh, sorry about that. I just find it easier and more satisfying, I think. That's not staying that way. Just trying to get some paint on here. It's a big boy. Okay, let's see about where exactly churn is. Yeah, some people weren't sure what this was. It's a churn. I don't know what, maybe I don't know what they made in it. It's got wood blades inside, so it couldn't be, anything too hard. They weren't, I don't know what you would have done in something like this. Doesn't really say. White cheddar cylinder churn. I don't know. Like I said, with blades like that, you're not going to be doing anything too heavy duty. Yeah, what I was kind of thinking, without going too bright because it's way back there in the background, this may be too dark. You know, I was thinking about suggesting some of that band back there and nothing else. How long we've been going? It's been an hour. And this is a big brush again to be trying to do this with. Playing around with some of that pattern. Might have to get a liner brush, we'll see. You know, it depends on how precise I want it. It's a little O here. I don't know, we'll look at that. It says 4 gallons down in there. I don't know if I want to do that or not. So, and I don't want all that lettering. I don't think it's necessary. Takes so long to cover everything. Tired of hearing me complain? Like I said, I think it just comes from the fact that I like things quick. And this takes longer than I would like doing it this way. And maybe you don't want to see every little bit of it. I think what I'll do is I will do this off camera because that's kind of boring. Before we do leave though, let's look at our tulips one more time. Like I said, I do have to get this background, this painted in before there's a tiniest little rim light, like here on the edge of this leaf, very light, that's going to have to go in. But that'll have to go in after I put this in. Just looking at the tulips though, give them another looky here before we leave. Comes to a point pretty much. Yeah, if I like that. Whoa, I don't know about that either. All right, I may let you off of here and going to continue to work on it on my own and maybe what I'll do is get it pretty much blocked in and bring you back for the final tweaks or something. And again, I'm not sure how I feel about the leaves. They may feel too saturated. Just looking around, places to put that pink maybe. And I'll probably make sure I've got soft edges. Yeah, I'm feeling like the greens are a bit saturated for my taste. I mean, they are probably pretty saturated, but I don't know if I like it, so. All right, I'm gonna let you go for now. I'm gonna keep working though, because my God, like I said, it's probably painful to watch. So the tulips, the little jar is blocked in. It's not bad. And the tulips, the shape's there. Just have to decide for sure if I'm happy with the shape of them and, well, the color, everything. And again, the greens, did a little work on the crock. So let me back you up. So that's kind of where we are. Yeah, I'm going to do some work off camera. I hope that's okay. But again, this just goes on forever and a day. So maybe bring you back again for some very final little tweaks. Okay. Tulips are here. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.